Let's test how many times can you fold a piece of paper. So starting with an ordinary piece of paper, we'll put our first fold into it. Obviously this was quite easy. Making sure that was lined up nicely for the next folds, we then moved on to adding some steam. This will help relax the paper, meaning our next fold should be easier. This moves us on to fold number 2, which was much easier. You can see the paper is now very soft and it folded very easily. Again, we're going to add more steam to it, hopefully just to loosen it up again. So fold number 3 was no problem. Again, we just used our hands to close that off properly, and since the paper was soft, it was very easy to do. Bring in some more tools, we used the iron. The heat from this will help flatten out the paper and get those creases really nice and sharp, and you can see here it did exactly that. So now we're moving on to fold number 4, and this again was quite easy. No issues whatsoever so far. At this point we can see that the paper starts bunching up, and that's exactly what's going to cause us problems later on. But for now we're just going to keep using the iron and the steam to help relax the paper as much as we can, and you can see we can get fold number 5 in there. Relatively easy, but we did use the clamps here to make sure we can get a nice crease on that. Moving on to fold number 6, I can still put it in with my hands, but I just used the G-clamp to make it as flat as possible. And again, just using steam to make sure we can keep that as flat as we can. But you can see despite this, we can't actually bend it anymore with our hands. It's almost gone rock solid. So next job is to bring out the 1-ton vise, and you can see using steam, we can get a nice fold. This is number 7 coming in, which just about works. The paper at this point is rock solid. It no longer feels like paper, more like a plastic, and you can see we did manage to get the fold in. For fold number 8, we're going to have to bring out the big tools here. We've got a chisel and a mallet, and I can just about get that last fold in. Again, just using steam to help bring that together as much as we can. At this point, it almost is about to break, but I think we finally have managed to do fold number 8. So incredibly, having achieved 8 folds, there's 256 layers of paper in there, and I wanted to see them in half. So we used the chop saw here just to get a good cross section. And using this little jig I made with a piece of wood, we can see directly in the middle of this, and incredibly you can see a lot of those layers. So in the end we managed to do 8 folds, and I think that's very cool.